Alright, so I've been getting the same questions from like all my clients in social media. Like, hey Chris, should I buy a house right now? So today I'm just gonna talk about some things to like look out for in case you're in the market of buying a house right now. So number one, the interest rates are going up and they're going to continue to go up. I mean, I've seen like 6.5%, 7, 8% like now, and we're probably going to be like in the 8 to 10% like in early next year. If you didn't get a chance to buy a house at 3%, it's too late. Like, it's probably never going to be like that again. Like now more than ever, you got to watch out for yourself. Forget about what your realtor tells you. Forget about what your lender tells you. Forget about what your family, your friends, everybody. You got to put your needs before everybody else. That brings me up to my next point, right? You got to budget your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be able to afford your monthly payments. Even though you're buying at a higher interest rate right now, if you find a good house that doesn't need a lot of like work, it's ready to move in, you see potential of like maybe upgrading some of the appliances, upgrading the floor plan, like changing out flooring and making changes to the landscaping and backyard and stuff. Those are the type of houses that you want to buy. I just recently bought a house like a couple months ago, and my plan is at like 7.5%, you know, so a little bit on the higher end. Hopefully, you know, like nobody knows, but like when it goes back down to like 5%, I'm gonna refinance. Then you'll have a nice house with a good mortgage payment too. Number one, if you're buying right now with the higher interest rate, make sure you can afford the monthly payments for at least like a year or so. Right now, you can actually negotiate on the price, the closing costs paid by the seller, some money to buy down the interest rate too. And I'll make some more videos of that in the future. If you're buying solely as an investor, this property is gonna be your investment property. It's probably not a good time to buy a house right now. It's not like before where you could buy a house, wait like a year or two, and then sell it and then make a whole bunch of money. Even after like paying the realtor, paying like other fees and like closing costs and stuff, you would still have enough money to play with. Like, now is not the time to do that. But now, if you're buying a house, you want to be thinking long term. You know what I'm saying? You want to stay in the house for at least like 5-10 years so you can actually make some money when you sell it. Because the rates are so high and inventory is like getting smaller and smaller, most homeowners are gonna hold their house for the long term. If you do sell it like less than 5 years, just plan to make like little money. I mean, you can in the future like turn it into a rental, and I'll make more videos on that later. If you rent out your house, even if you just break even, you don't make barely any money on that, it's still worth it because you build equity over time. What you do is like you rent out your house and then use that as income to buy your next house. So if you're buying a house right now, just hold it for long term. Number three is a necessity. It's like you need to buy this house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just bought a new laptop and a new printer because I needed it, knowing that the value is gonna go down over time. Same thing with the house. If you're buying right now, you need this house. Either like you're paying like too much in rent, or you're driving like 2 hours away every day, you know, and you're trying to cut the commute because you don't want to spend that much money on gas. Or maybe it's a combination of both. For example, say your rent is $2,000, but if you buy in that same city, your monthly like mortgage is $1,700 or even like $2,000 even. You might want to buy a house right now because over time the equity builds on top of the house, so it's like free money. All right, for example, like say your rent right now is $3,000 a month, and if you bought, it would be like $2,000 a month or even $2,700 a month. And it might be a good time to buy. If you're gonna save like $500 or so a month like by renting in the same city, then it might be a good idea just to rent right now. But if you can afford the monthly payments like at $3,000 and you buy a house and it's the same as the monthly like rent, then you should probably buy a house, because in the end, like, you build equity. Like by next year, if and when the rates go back down, you can refinance. Like the banks will allow you to pull out 75%, 80% of the value of the house too, to buy another house. Or pay off bills or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So you're buying a house right now because you need it. Don't feel pressure to buy a house now. Like you want to buy a house that's like ready to go, ready to move into, not a lot of work you gotta do. It's in a good location. It cuts like commute time. Definitely, like if it's cheaper or like pretty close to like what you're paying in rent right now, you want to buy. If you're selling the house like less than 5 years, then you're probably not gonna make a lot of money. Maybe plan out, turn that into a rental if buying is like cheaper or close to like what you're paying in rent right now too. And remember, you gotta focus on you know what I'm saying? Don't care about what your friends say, your coworkers, your realtor, your lender, whatever. Make sure you can afford your house, make sure you like the house, and then also like it's a good time to negotiate it as well. You know what I'm saying? You can negotiate on the price, the closing costs, and also like money to buy down your rate as well too. So if you're buying a house right now, in the market of buying a house, cheers to you. I wish you the best of luck. Yo, dude, me and Tucker just saw another hawk, man. I don't know what the hell this means.